So she finally broke up with this first guy. And then I think they said it was a few years later, this guy, his girl, some other girl he was dating, that could have been her, in prison right now, San Quentin. Right? So how many times is God, do you see, because I don't know how y'all look at this, but I look at it like this is God trying to forewarn her. This is God trying to show her the man not to be with. This is God trying to protect her. You gave this guy your number. He threw the number away. Like, what else God got to do? Is he got to send an angel to be right in your face and say, girl, leave this guy alone. He crazy. Like so many signs, right? So the first boy his girlfriend. So she's dating Scott Peterson. He in prison right now. Y'all can Google him if you don't know who I'm talking about. So then once she was saying all this signs, because Scott, his family, they was crazy. Like they had a lot going on, like a lot. It's like God was giving her 50-11 signs. 50-11 signs. If y'all look at this documentary on YouTube, it's very thorough. I knew none of this. Anyway, 50-11 signs. So then she met his family when they, I think before they got engaged, and his family, crazy. They was a mess. And his mom was a mess. So LACI, she had made, I think they went somewhere, and LACI had made like they stayed overnight at a hotel, or they was somewhere out of town together. She was with his family and stuff before they got married. LACI had picked them up these breakfast baskets for Scott's mom and for his sister and the rest of the family. She picked them up these breakfast. They were already made with all these danishes and all of this stuff. So the basket was beautiful, but LACI, she embellished it, meaning that she just added probably some more flowers to it, some more ribbons and stuff. And so Scott's sister was like, oh, LACI, she got this looking so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so Scott's mom was like, oh, that's LACI. Stuff can be perfect, and she always got to change it. That's what his mom said about her. She said it to his sister.
Oh my God.
So the mama already hating. They not even married yet. And this girl has done this very sweet, kind gesture. And then his mom talking about, oh, that's LACI. Stuff can be perfect, and then she always got to change it. Girl, you hating on your soon-to-be daughter-in-law.
Oh my God.
Crazy. So you got to look at all that. So then there's something else they said. They gave some other example that his mom was kind of low-key hating on her. I think she just felt like, oh, ain't nobody good enough for my golden boy. But your golden boy over here, he got some mental health problems. And while you sitting up here talking about he the golden boy, he over here needs to be on some medication. He needs a prescription. You understand? A prescription.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, we know, with that whole case of, the girl came out in the news that he was dating and stuff. He had been dating this girl the whole time. The girl with the blonde hair, she had came out in the news, and she didn't even know he was married.
Oh my God.
Now he was dating so many women, you guys, before he married her. Like when they was engaged, he was dating other women. After they got married, he was dating other women. They said it was one time where him and her had went to college, to the same college, and then she wanted to move back closer to her mom, her family, I think, after she got pregnant, after they got married. And he was like, well, I'm going to just stay up here, because he had to finish college. She finished college before he did. So she wanted to go back home to be close to her family. So he like, well, I'll just stay up here.
Uh-oh.
He stayed up there, wherever. I forgot where it was. Some other part of I think they were in California or somewhere. Because he up there fooling around with all these women while he was married to her. They had just got married. So he like, well, you can go back on home and stay. She went back and stayed in a mobile home, like a trailer home, with their dog, while he stayed there at college. And he was supposed to go back with her, but he stayed there. So they said one day LACI was up. She came up one weekend to visit, to stay the weekend with him. And then his girlfriend showed up at the apartment and went in his bedroom, and he in the bed with LACI. She ain't even know that he was married. So she going off on him, yelling and screaming. They said she went outside yelling and screaming. And they said his roommates, they said the girl was going off saying, I can't believe he's fooling around on me, da-da-da. And they said his roommates was telling her, well, we didn't even know he was married. So
what?
His roommates didn't even date. He had married LACI and everything and kept it a secret. Like, his roommates didn't know he was married. He had a whole girlfriend and everything. And then remember, that girl came out in the news and said that she was dating him. I think she was a massage therapist or something like that, years back. So, but even before she married him, you guys, it was probably 10 or more signs that God was giving her. A bunch of signs. His family was crazy. His mother-in-law was hating on her before they even got married. It was a whole bunch of stuff. A lot. A lot of warning signs that God was trying to give her. And she still married this guy. Still married. And then he didn't want no kids. And they said that, they also said in this documentary, when LACI was 7 years old, she ended up having some tumor that was kind of really close to her uterus when she was 7, y'all. 7.
What?
That's 2nd grade. She had some big tumor that came up near her uterus, and she had to get surgery. She had to get surgery. And so they was thinking that it may affect her ability, to one day have kids or whatever. So that's why once she married him, she wanted a baby like really bad. And they said they had a hard time getting pregnant, but he didn't want no kids. He didn't want no kids because he out here wilding out. God done shown you every sign known to man, but you still married this guy. He didn't want no kids. After they got married, he wasn't hardly never there. He stayed gone. And then if you look it up on YouTube or whatever, and the trial and everything, he was just dating all kind of women, like when they was married. He didn't want no kids. But she went through that when she was 7 years old, so she didn't know if she was going to be able to have kids or not. And they said they kept trying, she kept trying to get pregnant. She finally got pregnant. So God, we got to learn how to listen to these signs that God be showing us. Because hindsight, that's why they say hindsight is 20/20. Don't nobody want no hindsight to be 20/20. That is not my prayer. My prayer is not, Lord, let me see clearly after.
Uh-oh.
Because hindsight, hind mean behind you. Like, I'm not trying to have no crystal clear 20/20 vision after something bad happened to me. I'm praying to God, let me see it now. Like the Bible say in Proverbs, a fool despises wisdom. A fool hates wisdom. A fool don't like the truth. I ain't trying to be no fool. If God show me, if God done gave me all them many signs, we got to take heed. Beautiful, sweet. His mom was hating on her before they even got married. That's a sign too.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you can marry if your mother-in-law treating you real wrong and stuff. You may be okay if your husband, he a real man. But some of these men, they let their mom ruin their marriage. That's a negatory. She was mean. So when LACI got pregnant, after they found out it was a boy, they said she was thinking about, they was trying to come up with names. And so her husband didn't even want no child. Then she probably always had it in her head, you know, once she got older and realized, you know, that she had that surgery. I'm sure her mom told her. In her head, she probably thinking, ooh, I need to try to have a child. And that might have been what was making her just choose these men. Because she wanted a child. So she wanted to get pregnant right away. Her husband didn't want no kids because he want to be out here wilding out. She don't even know, even though God is showing her everything. And then Scott was doing so much when they was engaged that she wasn't even telling her mom. Not saying tell your mom everything, but I'm just saying, us who are older a lot of times, not saying we know it all, but a lot of times we have wisdom. Because you know, when you were 16 and now you 25, you know more at 25 than you knew at 16. So wisdom comes with age too. Wisdom comes with age too. That's why sometimes you can sit down like me. Y'all on here listening to me. I'm sitting up here at home, tired. I got a Chipotle and y'all sitting up here on here with me. I done left out the room a couple of times. Y'all still on here. You want to know why? As you get older, God allows you, if you receive wisdom from God. You see what I'm saying? You get wise. And so, you remember how when you was a kid, you used to like to go to grandma's house? Because why? Because they be talking about all kind of stuff and it be sounding like they reading a book. They ain't reading no book. They telling you about their life. It's life. Just living life. You just live and you'll have so many stories to tell. You can just live life, just survive. Just be a survivor. Just thrive. And this girl went through this, she in the 2nd grade, y'all. And God gave her so many signs. I, who've been loving Jesus my whole life, I was amazed at all these signs and warning signs that God was giving her. All these warning signs, a lot of them. And then the first guy who I said she was dating, but crazier than a Betsy bug. And her mom was trying to tell her. But she probably in her head thinking, I'm going to make this. And you know, we as women, we always think we can fix these men. If we could fix somebody, we wouldn't even need Jesus. If we had that kind of power, what would we need Jesus for? We wouldn't. If we can fix nobody can be fixed. Not even God can fix somebody if they won't first admit and recognize. If people won't be accountable and admit where they are and admit who they are and stop blaming everybody else. Yeah, people had a part to play in some things that we went through. People have a part to play in some of the trauma we went through. Yes, you're right. They do. But at the end of the day, we can't carry that on for the rest of our life, or you're going to be stuck right there. God said you got to take up your cross daily. God said you got to put the full armor of God on every day. Every day, y'all. It's an uphill battle, y'all. This ain't easy. Just living is not easy. Just trying to live is not for the faint at heart, y'all. Come on. So this beautiful, sweet girl married this man anyway, and God done gave her every sign known to man. I know Jesus is real. Nobody ain't got to show me no scripture. Nobody ain't got to tell me nothing. It's like the old folks used to say, when you know Jesus for yourself, I know some Jesus for myself. And then you won't be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because it's the power unto salvation. You understand? Hallelujah, you hear me? Oh, Lord. Come on now. For real. I was just shocked and amazed at you guys. All of these signs that God gave this girl, I swear. Lord Jesus. He gave her so many signs. Whew. That's why you got to be in that word, I'm telling you. Because you'll know when it's God. You'll know it ain't you. And you'll know it ain't the devil. You'll know this is God telling me this. He gave her every warning known to man. If y'all watch this thing, a lot of warnings. She married him anyway. And then when she got pregnant, she was talking to his mom one day. And she told his mom, she was like, we thinking of names. We thinking about naming him. I think it was Logan. I think she came up with the name Logan. I believe that's it. And then she asked his mom, her mother-in-law, you know, how did she like that name? She was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. She said it real mean.